Hey everyone, it's Catherine with Mom Talk Educate, and I have been in Thailand for 2.5 months. I'm here for another 2 weeks, and I just wanted to say thank you for watching this video because I am going to discuss a topic that's been on all of our minds, on all the news, and that is the coronavirus or COVID-19. Unfortunately, it has devastated communities, countries, and it's also devastating the economy, as we can see with every day that passes. So there are certain things that we need to remember and steps that we can take as a newborn photographer running a newborn photography business, because this is going to affect all of us in the industry. And this is something that if we prepare for it now rather than later and take this very, very seriously, then we're going to be better off because we prepared for it rather than been thinking in our minds that it's not going to affect us. Guaranteed, new moms are already freaking out. If they haven't already, they will be soon now that World Health Organization has declared it a worldwide pandemic. Doctors are probably going to be advising their clients to not be taking their newborn babies out and having them in contact or close contact with strangers. So these are all things to think about, as well as take whatever suggestions you wish to apply in your personal business. Okay, let's get started. First, we want to get ahead of the situation and prepare our clients and let them know that we are doing everything we can to prepare for this situation that is about to hit our community or your community firsthand. So the first thing that you can do is send out an email to all of your clients that have been booked in for the next 3 months and just let them know that you are going to be taking every necessary step to ensure the safety of your special clients or their brand new little babies. So what would those steps be? Well, first things first is that you would want to make sure that your entire space, whether it's in your home or whether it's in your studio, is completely sanitized. You also want to have an area where everyone can wash their hands when they come into the studio or after they have arrived at the studio. And please put a little list on the wall above the sink to make sure that they're following the necessary steps. Now, the necessary steps would be to wash and lather with soap for 20 seconds minimum and to wash up to here. You want to also have every single item that is going to be touched by your client to be fully sanitized. If you have things that can't be sanitized properly, perhaps a good idea would be to remove those items until you can sanitize them properly. Another thing that you can do would be to have sanitizer, hand sanitizer around, as well as masks for them to put on once they enter your studio. This will not only protect yourself from your clients who could be possible carriers of the virus, but it'll also protect this newborn baby because you're going to also put over your mouth. So after they've washed and lathered for 20 seconds, you want to make sure that you have disposable paper towels so that they can dry their hands and then toss it in the trash. You don't want to have cross-contamination by having them dry their hands on a towel. You don't want them to have to touch something after they have just sanitized, okay? So another step would be to also have tissues available so that if anyone sneezes, they can sneeze into a tissue and then throw that tissue out immediately. Another suggestion would be to avoid human contact. So such as when the client enters, do not shake hands, do not give hugs. You want to try and avoid any form of close contact with your client. And this is not because you want to scare them because you are infected, but unfortunately with this virus, it takes up to 14 days for symptoms to start. And so with those 14 days, you have no idea if you are a carrier or if you are sick with the virus. So the best thing would be to completely eliminate contact with other people. It has been recommended that when you are in an area with other people that you want to stay at least 3 meters away from another person. And obviously you don't want to be touching random surfaces. You want to be very, very careful on what you're touching. So when your client arrives to the studio, you're going to have them wash their hands, as you, I'm assuming, have already done once you've arrived at your studio. for a minimum of 20 seconds. Before your client has arrived, you're going to have pre-sanitized everything after you've washed your hands. So get your Lysol wipes out, Lysol wipe everything that you can, sanitize the floor. You're going to want to spray that Lysol disinfectant on any surface that can't be wiped down, so such as like a surface that, like a carpet or something, you could sanitize. If at all possible, move your studio to a location that doesn't have carpet, because then you're going to also reduce the risk of not being able to sanitize properly. Another thing that we read as we are traveling at the moment is to avoid bare feet in a common area. So keep your shoes on, or tell your clients to bring slippers or flip-flops or something that they can wear while they're at the studio, because we don't want to have bare feet at all on any of the surfaces in the studio. Okay, so just as a reminder, hand washing as soon as they arrive to the studio. Another great idea would to be having a basket of masks that each client can put on once they arrive to the studio, if they haven't already brought their own. And this would just prevent them spreading germs towards you. So if they have come in contact with somebody, then you're actually reducing the risk of yourself contracting that from them. And of course, it would be a great idea to have a bottle of sanitizer in each corner of your studio. Not necessarily each corner, but let's say the entrance of your home, have a bottle of sanitizer, alcohol-based sanitizer, as well as in your studio directly. Now, I would highly recommend that you wear a mask yourself, because even though you can be 100% confident that you are not a carrier or transmitting the virus, there's no harm in you wearing a mask to protect the newborn that you're about to photograph. Now, this newborn most likely will be perfectly fine, and that is not what this is about. This is about protecting those that don't have the immune system that perhaps an older child may have, especially if they're only formula fed, not breastfed. So this is about you protecting that brand new baby and taking that life very seriously. Another recommendation I can make would be to wear gloves. The reason why wearing gloves would be a great idea is because not only have you already sanitized your hands, but now these gloves that are clean, you're less likely to touch your face with these gloves. So sometimes people rub their eye, not thinking of. When you're wearing a glove, you're less likely to do something that you would do without wearing gloves. So have a box of sterilized gloves that you can wear while doing a session. There's also cotton gloves that you can wear over top of these sanitized latex gloves. And this will make it softer for the baby's touch on the baby's skin, as well as when you are working and posing with that newborn baby. Try not to have the baby too close to your face, but try to keep the baby on your lap while you're, wrapping the baby or whatever. And reduce any kind of, like, maybe you're one of those newborn photographers that likes to feed the baby a bottle while you're doing the session if the baby wakes up. Let the mom do that. The mom is perfectly capable of doing that. And right now, the less risk, the better for the newborn. So this is about safety of newborns, number one, and also safety of that newborn's mother as well. So hand washing, I'm not going to say this enough, with 20 seconds, soap lathering, sanitize, pre-sanitize everything, wear gloves, have masks available for your client as well as yourself, because this is going to add an extra layer of protection that is going to eliminate any of your breath going onto this newborn baby. And also another thing to keep in mind is that your newborn photography props, a lot of them cannot be washed. So perhaps style your session so that you can only use, or that you are going to use, items that can be sanitized afterwards, such as fabrics can be sanitized by going through the washing machine and the dryer, using wood products with fabric layers that are artificial rather than wools and things that can't be sanitized or washed afterwards. So just something to think about. Yes, it might not be 100% your style at the moment, but you can still find ways to protect your clients and still stay true to who you are as a newborn photographer. So now we've discussed the things that you can take as a precautionary step towards your newborn clients and their session. But now you need to put that all in writing. So you need to be in contact, be very transparent with your clients for the next 3 months, those that are booked in, and let them know that these are the steps that you're going to be taking. You're going to be following all safety measures. You're going to be sanitizing. You're going to have things set up so that it's easy for them to sanitize once they've left their home. And you're going to keep their baby at the top of your priority list. So they are going to feel reassured. They are going to be less likely to cancel. And you're just going to have a better business reputation because you are taking this seriously. This is not something to take lightly. So another thing that I would recommend, that what if you have clients that are canceling? Do you refund every single person that has left you a deposit? Now, this has been on my mind, especially because I have been in Asia for the last 2.5 months, and I have already had clients that have chosen not to book with me because I am traveling. However, I am a very transparent person. I like to be very open and upfront with my clients or potential clients and say, listen, I am going to be going through 3 international airports on my way home back to Canada. We will be doing a self-quarantine because we have a huge respect for others, and we do not want to put anyone at risk because it can take up to 14 days for this virus to actually show symptoms. So me personally, are taking others' interests to heart, and we are trying to do our very best to protect them. And we are also hoping that others do the same after traveling. Because although you may be coming or returning from an area that hasn't had an outbreak or a large outbreak, you don't know if you've contracted something for 14 days. So it is best to keep others in mind and to protect those that have no defense or no immune system or are more likely to be harmed by this virus. So as a newborn photographer, all of the newborn clients that I currently have booked in, if any of them choose to postpone their newborn session from April, I will do their newborn session whenever they are willing and are confident, or they feel that they're comfortable with doing the newborn session. So if that means 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 3 months, whatever, I will work with my client and whatever they wish to do. I will not be offering refunds because my deposits are non-refundable. However, I will be offering a transfer of deposits, so they can use their deposit towards whatever type of session they wish to do. And if they choose to wait until their baby is no longer a newborn and has been vaccinated over several different vaccinations, then that is their decision. That is not up to me. However, I will not be offering refunds because I also am running a business, and I can't do anything about this coronavirus as much as they can do anything about this coronavirus. But I am going to be very, very patient and very understanding with all these new moms, because I know that I personally, after having 4 babies, I would have never put my children in a situation where I wasn't comfortable with it. So the best thing for you to do is be transparent with your potential clients or transparent with your booked clients, and just tell them the steps that you're taking, reassure them that you are taking this seriously and that you are there to be of assistance to them if they need it. However, this is your business policy that you are going to be doing the best you can to keep everyone safe, and you look forward to working with them, if not now, but in the future. We've discussed how to protect our clients and the necessary steps that you're going to do for your business by sending them an email, and potentially further communication is to protect yourself in your personal life. So I'm sure you've watched so many different tutorials or videos on this, but I'm just going to reiterate a few necessary steps that perhaps you haven't thought of. So when you're washing your hands, remember to wash your hands with soap and water 20 seconds, here to here, or whatever you feel comfortable with. Do not use hand towels that other people could touch. You definitely want to use something that you can toss and throw away, such as paper towel. You don't want to have cross-contamination with anybody else. Another thing would be if you're sneezing or coughing, to cough and sneeze into a tissue that you can also throw into the trash. Another thing would be if you are around other people, do not be sharing dishes with them. You want to avoid sharing dishes and utensils with others. So try and use disposable items when you're around other people. Avoid contact by being at least 2 meters away. I think in the video previously I said 3 meters. I meant to say 2 meters away. It's not a bad idea to have a mask on hand if you're, feeling like you have some symptoms that just suddenly popped on, just to avoid your germs on others, just put that mask on. Because some people think that the mask protects them from getting germs from others, but it's actually to stop your germs from spreading to others. So it's not a bad idea to have them. Try and use separate washrooms from others. If you go in and touch something or go into an area that you have to use that's public, bring Lysol wipes with you everywhere so you can sanitize the area that you're about to go into or any surface that you're going to touch. And sanitize frequently. And just remember, do everything you can to protect yourself. So the best way would be also to avoid large groups of people. So it would probably be a bad idea to bring your kids to the grocery store with you. So if you can possibly leave them at home, then you have less things to sanitize. And you can worry about yourself sanitizing your shopping cart, grabbing your items that you need, not dawdling, and spending unnecessary time in large areas of people. If you are going through airports, such as myself in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever, remember to bring Lysol wipes with you and sanitize your airplane seat and all the trays and armrests and everything else. Try not to touch anything that anyone else has touched. And just remember that we want to stay safe, everyone. We're going to get through this, and the best thing to do is not to panic, but to prepare yourself and prepare those around you so that we can take this on and be strong as a person and as a community. So thank you so much, you guys, for watching this. I really appreciate it. Please share it if you feel you want to. And thank you again so much for tuning into my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. It really would mean the world to me. Don't forget that I also have a Facebook group called Mom Talk Educate. You're welcome to join it. I also have a online newborn posing tutorial that gives you a full workflow so that you can successfully pose an entire family with siblings, families, prop poses, as well as beanbag poses, and also includes editing video as well as presets and actions that I sell. So thank you again, you guys, and please leave a comment below. I look forward to hearing from you.